What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So we have just picked up another house that we're going to be trimming out, and that is this one here. And we're going to get started on setting some pocket doors. That's all we're going to be doing here today, because this is part of the framing when you put your pocket doors in. So we're going to go through some of that, and then we're going to come back after drywall and get to trimming this thing. And there's some pretty cool details in this one. And to answer your question, thinking, are we done with that other house? And the answer is no. So we're going to be doing two houses at the same time, depending on when exactly this one is ready. But pretty much we're going to be doing two houses at once. So I'm going to have a lot to juggle here in the coming months, but let's get in here and set some pocket doors. So we went ahead and got this first unit in for our pocket doors. This is actually a double here, and I didn't really go into it right here because it was so dark, and now that the sun's out you can actually see what's going on. So we do got another place over here we got to put one in. It's still a little dark, there's not a lot of light on that side. So we'll start with that one here in a second, but I am going to be playing a little bit of designer on this house. So we've got this mantle here that you see, this firebox behind me. So we're going to have some paneling going up here, and I do like these jobs where I can actually have my own input and they kind of trust me and lean on my design knowledge. You know, I have a decent design knowledge, I feel like, of proportions and things that look good. And then there's another fireplace over here actually in this library. Got our gas line coming down here, framing is done, and we've got this wall that kind of wraps just like mine. So it's definitely not going to be as elaborate as mine, but I've done similar mantles like what this homeowner wants. He has seen in my portfolio and Instagram, and I think we'll have crown going around here. I think this is one of the only rooms with crown, maybe another one. But anyways, let's start on this first pocket door over here, and I'll show you guys what we're doing. And by the way, this is a cordless job site. We have no power here. So if you have cordless table saws, miter saws, this is where you need them. Not a big fan, but it is what it is sometimes. We looked all over this place and we couldn't find the power. All right, so I'll check the header where we're sitting, and it looks like we need to lift up your right side a hair.
This side here?
Yeah, just a hair.
We need to just...
So we'll just screw into that and we can move it.
Move it up. Yep.
So on these units, they've got up in here like a slot where if you screw into it, you can kind of play with it and get it perfectly level. We gotta get this. You gotta come down a hair more.
Down?
Yeah.
See, it's not sliding. I need the drill.
We're torturing this guy with this.
Torturing me.
Hey, it doesn't lie. Hey, I need to get a new bit, huh?
Was it up or down?
You need to come down.
Why is it different now?
Go up. Don't move it. You got it. So first thing we're doing here is we've got our header right where we want it, perfectly level. That's super important because when you put that pocket door up there and it's sliding on those tracks, you want it to just sit there like a perfectly level surface. Think of a ball. When you set a ball on a countertop, it shouldn't move because the countertop should be level. Same thing with this pocket door. This is the most important thing. That pocket door just needs to be able to slide freely. The second thing we're going to do, so we're going to make sure this jamb is plumb, and we're going to get shims behind here on this side, and we're going to kind of finesse it to where we've got that dead on plumb. So I'll check again. I know he hates this level, but he's going to have to get with the tolerances.
Let me have one screw. I can do the top one.
Yep, you can.
Okay, that's that one.
Yep, and the bottom needs to go in. I need to kick the bottom to you.
Okay.
So once we hear that.
Right here, go ahead.
Dang, you got it right there. Don't move it.
Yeah, I gotta put it this way though.
I said, no, I'm just kidding.
That way.
Just kidding. All right, check it out, guys. This is 0.0. That's our tolerances here at this company. We don't mess around with anything that's even 0.1 on something like this, right? You want me to get it from the single?
Yeah. You want to get it from right there?
Yeah. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna come over here. The other thing you always want to make sure of, take some kind of straight edge. You want to be flush with that existing framing. So like that, we want to check that as we shim and screw this thing in, because we want to, whenever they put the drywall on, you don't want to have that discrepancy there. Yep. This unit is now set. We are level at the top. We're plumb on our jamb right here. This side will get a finished jamb. That's gonna be after drywall and everything. And we'll have the slab in there, the door itself, and then I think he might do soft close or soft open. And I don't think you can do both on this size of a door. But we gotta get all of our hardware up in there, and then this is a finished board that we shim to the door. I don't like to put any door stop on this side. I just like to shim flush to the jamb, and then your hardware just gets mortised into that. All right, and we're gonna be using a Ramset or a powder actuated gun. The brand I had was Ramset. This is Tom's Remington. I can't even believe like Remington is a gun manufacturer. I mean, it makes sense, but it's just kind of funny. Like I'm shooting a Remington here today. So we've got our charge right here. This is a number 3 powder charge. That's gonna slide right in there. So it just gets loaded up in there. And then we're using this here. This is a 1-inch nail. And we're gonna be nailing this in to this plate right here. This metal plate right here is attached from the bottom to the framing members. Then we can install this right here with this fastener. All right, and as you can see, we've got our fastener secured to the slab here, and this thing is no longer gonna move. Super simple task installing these pocket door frames. Number one, you gotta make sure that track is level. If that is off, I mean, nothing else matters. I mean, there is some adjustment in the pocket door hardware when you actually have the door and the hardware that mounts on top of it. You can kind of play with that, but it's easy. If you can just get this and make both of those the same, then it's moving freely and it's good to go. Number two, this jamb needs to be plumb. That's done over here, as we showed. This one really didn't need a lot of shimming. This framing member here was already pretty level. You can see there's very minimal shimming there, like barely anything that was needed. It did have to get kicked in a little bit more this way, and it was perfectly plumb. So if you can get that, that's gonna be awesome, because when that pocket door slides into the cavity here, your jamb is gonna be plumb, and the door itself is gonna end right with the jamb. And this is not our finished jamb right here. We're gonna have a skin that goes on this of 1 by. I would say this is the easiest part of the whole thing. Even putting the soft close stuff on is harder than this. If you can get those 3 things, that's it, pretty simple. And doing all these things is really gonna help when you go put the final finished door in and all the trim and everything. It's like anything, you start with a good foundation, the rest of it's easy. So we've got 2 more of these to do, then we're going to another job. So we just set the 3rd pocket door frame here, and one thing I didn't mention on the first one is that you always want to make sure you have an updated set of plans, because if you think about it, this is the cavity for the pocket door here on this left side, and this is the entry, but really it could fit either way. So you need to think about where the cabinetry is going to be. Actually, you don't need to think about that. You just need to get the plans and put it in the way that it shows on the plans. But like in this case, it is kind of obvious because this is a laundry room. You walk in, you're going to have cabinetry over here on this left side. Obviously, the units are going to be right there. You can see the plumbing. But some of them are not as obvious, so it's always good to just check the plans and do it the way the plans say. Now, one thing I will say about these singles is that we shim the sides. We have our adjustable screw over here with that slot, but we didn't put any shims at the top. We're not going anywhere. This thing's going straight down to the floor, so I didn't put any shims at the top. It's plenty of support, in my opinion, and I stand behind that. So on the twin though, we did it a little bit different. So here's that twin unit, and you can see obviously being a twin, it has a bigger span across the middle. Because this is such a large span right there, we do need some support grabbing onto the framing. So obviously I shimmed it here. You can see my shims up in there, making it perfectly level across the top with our track. And that's about the only thing different on this twin unit. So we've got one more up here that I think is probably almost done.
You got an idea where you want it? Yeah. Like a 1/4 inch. A little less? More? Okay.
So there you have it, guys. That is how we install our pocket frames when we're in this kind of rough framing stage, and there's nothing to it. I mean, this is a super simple carpentry task. We should be getting the doors in like 1 or 2 weeks, and when we get those, they're just slabs. We have to attach the hardware and all that. I'll show you. So as always, let me know if you guys have any questions, and I'll see you next time.